Hello everyone, and welcome back. Tonight's story is one I've carried for almost 50 years. My name is Daniel Mercer. In the spring of 1978, I was 39 years old and worked as a park ranger in Olympic National Forest, Washington. Back then, I believed every mystery had an explanation. Lost hikers were usually careless. Strange lights were campers. Odd sounds were elk, owls, or wind squeezing through cedar trees. That belief lasted until the week the forest started speaking my name. I'd spent nearly 13 years with the Forest Service. Most of my assignments involved search and rescue operations, trail inspections, and keeping campers away from dangerous terrain. Olympic National Forest was beautiful, but beauty could be deceptive. Ancient cedar trees blocked sunlight even at noon. Rain soaked everything. Fog swallowed entire valleys without warning. People disappeared there every year. Usually we found them. Sometimes we didn't. In April of 1978, our station received 4 missing person reports within 9 days. That alone wasn't unusual. What bothered everyone was where they vanished. Every one of them disappeared near an abandoned section of forest called Cedar Hollow. There were no campsites there. No scenic viewpoints. No lakes. Nothing worth hiking toward. Locals avoided it without explaining why. Older members of the Quinault tribe simply called it the place that remembers. Nobody would tell us what that meant. My supervisor handed me the case file on a rainy Monday morning. "Check the area," he said. "Probably someone cut a new trail." I loaded my truck with rope, climbing gear, emergency food, first aid supplies, cameras, radios, and enough equipment to stay in the woods for 3 days. The drive ended at an old logging road that hadn't been maintained since the 1950s. Beyond that point, I walked. Rain fell in slow, steady sheets. Every branch dripped. The deeper I went, the quieter everything became. No birds. No insects. Not even the sound of squirrels. Just rain. After nearly 3 hours, I reached Cedar Hollow. The first thing I noticed was the trees. Every cedar was enormous. Their trunks were wider than pickup trucks. Their roots twisted across the ground like giant snakes. Many had scars running vertically through the bark. Not lightning strikes. Not axe marks. They looked almost written. I laughed at myself for thinking that. A tree is a tree. Nothing more. I pitched a small camp beside an old ranger shelter that had collapsed decades earlier. Most of the roof was gone. The fireplace had fallen inward. Someone had carved initials into one surviving beam. Only they weren't initials. They were names. Dozens of names. Some fresh. Some almost worn away by time. I recognized one immediately. Emily Carson, 22 years old. Missing 6 days earlier. I frowned. No search team had reached this shelter yet. So who carved her name? I photographed everything before continuing deeper into the forest. About half a mile later, I found her backpack. It sat upright against a cedar tree. Perfectly clean. Perfectly dry. Inside were snacks, a flashlight, extra batteries, and a journal. The last page stopped mid-sentence. The trees keep repeating someone's name. Nothing after that. No blood. No signs of struggle. No footprints. Just silence. My radio crackled. Not with static. With breathing. Slow. Steady. Human breathing. "Station 7, I said. "This is Ranger Mercer. Do you copy?" No answer. Only breathing. Then a voice whispered, "Daniel." I spun around. Nobody. The forest stretched in every direction. Dark. Vet. Empty. The voice came again. Closer. "Daniel." It wasn't coming through the radio anymore. It came from somewhere among the trees. I drew my revolver. "Who's there?" Silence. Then, every cedar around me creaked at exactly the same time. Hundreds of trees moving together. Without any wind. A cold feeling settled across my shoulders. I suddenly understood why local people refused to enter Cedar Hollow. Something here wanted to be heard. I hurried back toward camp. Except, the trail was gone. The orange survey ribbons I'd tied to branches every 100 feet had disappeared. Every tree now looked identical. Every direction looked the same. I checked my compass. The needle spun in slow circles. Again. And again. The sun should have been setting behind me. Instead, the light came from the wrong direction. My map no longer matched the terrain. The shelter was missing. The creek I'd crossed had vanished. Only the trees remained. Standing perfectly still. Watching. Then I heard footsteps. Not one person. Many. Walking together. Slowly. Just beyond the fog. I raised my flashlight. Nothing. The footsteps stopped. I lowered the beam. They started again. Always matching my pace. Never getting closer. Never falling behind. When darkness finally covered Cedar Hollow, I realized something that made my stomach drop. The footsteps weren't following me. They were waiting. For me to stop.